So medical lights are one of the hottest things in medicine right now. And we use our medical lights here in our practice for diabetic neuropathy. We use them for wound healing, pain, anxiety. I mean, lights are huge. 90% of our lights in our practice, it's really fat and skin. Okay, that's kind of what we're known for. So let's dive into that, because that's why you're here today, is to really understand how they're going to work and how you're going to work with the lights. Okay, so let's jump in. So see this picture here. These are fat cells underneath the microscope, underneath the lights, okay, in a scientific study. So when you look at them, look at fat cells, I always describe them as clusters of grapes. Okay, that's kind of what they look like, right? And depending where that in your body is, what's in them. Okay, the good news is the lights really don't care. They're going to do their job no matter what. All right, that's why I love the lights. So the lights are going to bring in 3 different wavelengths, and that's how our lights are different than maybe other lights you've tried in the past. I mean, our lights are medical grade, 3 different wavelengths. That's the important part. So one wavelength is going to be poking holes in the outside of this cell, okay, this fat cell. The second wavelength, those lights get warm. They're not going to hurt, but they will get warm. That warmth is equivalent to a 500 calorie burn in 20 minutes. And everybody's like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, yeah. And that wavelength is actually breaking up that triglyceride, or that fat molecule, into glycerol, fatty acids, and water. Okay, it liquefies it. At that point, it seeps out of the shell. You're left with the skin of the grape. That is less inches than that. That's how you lose inches in this game. Okay. The questions I usually get, and I'll answer them for you, and I'll answer more if you have them. But usually people ask me, is it safe, Dr. Corey? And is it permanent? So let's talk through that. Absolutely safe. Okay, you never want to remove the fat cell. So we don't want to be doing lipo. We don't want to be doing co-sculpting. Okay, collapsing is normal or natural. All right. Second thing is it permanent? I say it depends. And here's what I mean. So once this stuff is liquefied, right, out of the cell, it's going to go to your lymph. Okay, have you heard of lymph? And a lot of people haven't. I'll say lymph nodes. A lot of people have. Okay, so lymph nodes are part of the lymphatic system. Lymph's job is a shuttle bus. Okay, it's going to move this stuff to the liver. Okay, and that's why we have you get on those vibration platforms after a session. That's why we have you winning a gold medal and drinking water, and we work on alkalinity. Okay, because we got to get that stuff to the liver. Liver's the soccer mom of the body. It's doing so much for you. Okay, liver does over 500 biochemistry pathways in the body. One of the processes that's really important to your journey right now is it's going to take these fatty acids and go from fat soluble, converts them to water soluble so that you can excrete them. You can, via urine. It can be number 2, it could be sweat, it could be some of those, but urine is going to be the most common. Okay, and that's why after a session you may have a little more foam to your urine. That's a good thing. Okay, that's fatty acids leaving you. And that's also, at this stage, guys, this is also where results differ. Okay, meaning our record is 20 inches in a session. We guarantee 1 to 2. You'll be somewhere there. Okay, why such a big range? It's the same light, right? Different biochemistry, okay, different bodies. And if your body doesn't excrete it like we want it to efficiently, guess where it goes? You're right, back to the fat cell. Okay, and that's where lipo is going to say, see, that's why you remove it. And we're going to say, no, that's short term. We want to win long term, right? We want lifestyle. So if we can keep this cell collapsed over time, so if you're local, I'd want you here a couple times a week, because I want to keep it drained. Okay, so I always say 6 to 8 weeks, 12 to 18 treatments, and that thing will harden like a raisin. Then you win. So here's 12 for legs. So here's 18. We're going to want to help on the skin side of things too, okay? So what you're looking at here is, this was a published peer-reviewed article on light and collagen, okay? So let's jump in. So when you look at this, so what you're seeing here is collagen, the thickness of collagen. And this is a 51-year-old female and a 46. And cortisol, stress hormone, eats collagen, okay? It degrades it, breaks it up. And that's why you're dealing with some of the skin issues you have, okay? Here's the good news. This is after lights. Look at the density change. And that's what you just saw in those pictures I just showed you on how that skin is becoming youthful, anti-aging, okay? Here's another study. And you can see here, here's a 64-year-old female. I mean, look at all those fine wrinkles, absolutely gone. Absolutely gone. Okay, now here's an important part of this study. All right, see this number right down here. What's it say? T30. Okay, what does that mean? In this study, they used 30 treatments to accomplish these results. Why? Because it was a double-blind peer review. They did not control nutrition. So the moral of the story is, if you eat bad, you will need to buy more lights, period. If you eat good, you get by with less lights. Are you clear with that? It's going to take frequency. It's not a one and done. It's not that. All right.
Hi, my name is Cindy, and I'd like to tell you about the success I've had using the red light therapy. I lost 25 pounds and 30 inches in 2 months, and to say that I'm happy about that is a complete understatement. It was such an easy program to follow. You just had to follow the rules and eat what you were supposed to eat, not eat what you weren't supposed to eat, and of course, come for your appointments for the red light therapy. Thank you so much.